Come design a modern Pacific Northwest entrance with me. From inspiration to full 3D render, I'll take you on site, walk through the existing space, and share a behind-the-scenes look at the full design process, start to finish. Today I am outside my client's home. I've decided to bring you along in real boots on the ground fashion to show you a design transformation and discuss everything that my clients and I have worked through to redesign their home. This is a young growing family. They have young kids, as you can see from toys and things going on in the yard. They have had a bustling at the seams experience with their current carport, and I am here to solve that with them. As any growing family comes to know, over time you acquire all of the things, the beach gear, the sports equipment, the strollers, you name it, bikes, helmets, rollerblades. It's never ending. And all too often in these traditional BC homes, we see that they didn't enclose a carport into a formal garage. Not only does this make it difficult to store things, as you can see my clients are currently struggling with, but also we have wildlife here. They're having problems with things like raccoons and bears getting into their garbage, and they really do need a secure place to store it all. For this project, we are going to tackle all of the problems head on. We are going to enclose the carport into a formal garage with a rolling door, and we are going to redesign their current patio situation. We can only presume that the previous owners had a small dog, because that's all that we can think that this was probably put up for. In our case, we don't need the enclosed space anymore, and so we are going to take the railings down. The overall goals that my client has for their home here are very simple. The topography on this side of the garage prevents us from putting the access door on this side, so we're going to embrace the door on this side of the courtyard and have it feel like an all-access point to the home. This space here that currently acts as the access to the front door, everything comes through here, all of the groceries, all of the kids, and all of the chaos, sports equipment and all. What we are going to do is redirect family traffic with sports equipment and wet coats and bags to come through the side door into the garage. The access door is going to be applied right here in this general area. The kitchen is actually right behind me, so by accessing the kitchen through the garage, it's going to be a nice streamlined zone for grocery drop-off. From here on out, you're going to park in the garage, load up your groceries and all of your wet bags, and come through into the garage through the entrance here. The next step we're going to integrate is some really functional storage, a place to catch boots and shoes and raincoats. Along this wall, before we hit the entry wall that enters into their kitchen, we are going to add a nice mudroom area. The perfect place for all of their family chaos to stop right at the door. Currently, when you go into this kitchen area, there's a window that faces the front of the house. Now, from what we can tell and the age of the home, it was most likely a little dining nook, something with some banquette seating. We are actually going to propose to take out that window and expand their kitchen to eat up the space that was once that dining nook. That means that the entire feel and look of this courtyard is going to change. Not only that, but their kitchen is going to get a marvelous upgrade. When we started dreaming up this front entrance and garage renovation, we were drawn to the timeless elegance in these inspiration images. Think lime-washed brick, structured greenery, and soft taupe detailing that all carry a distinctly European undertone. But since this home is rooted right here in the Pacific Northwest, the challenge was to create that old-world charm into something more grounded and regionally fitting. To recap, this window is going to be gone. While enclosing the carport, we're going to make sure that we retain some of the siding that's currently on the outside of the house inside of that carport area, so that when this window comes down, we have siding available that matches their current siding, and we can make sure that it feels as though we were never even here. In essence, the way this home meets and greets the street is going to change entirely. You're no longer going to be coming up the driveway into this courtyard through the front door. You're going to be meandering through what we are going to design as a beautiful courtyard space. From here on out, everybody that comes up to this house, guests and homeowners included, is going to come up and over this nice patio space. We're going to integrate some really beautiful landscaping along the side of the house and make sure that there is a space to welcome people. If the heat of the sun on the front of the house gets to be too much, there's a nice shady patio to come and find some seclusion from the heat. Whenever I'm starting a renovation project, especially one as impactful as a front entrance and garage refresh, I begin by building a detailed 3D model of the existing home. You're watching a sped-up screen recording of me doing exactly that here. And while it might not be the most glamorous part of the design process, it's honestly one of the most important. Modeling the space as it stands forces me to confront the realities of what's actually there, the structure, the proportions, the lines, and the quirks. It's easy to get swept up in big ideas and beautiful inspiration images, but if the bones can't support the vision, it's not good design, it's just a mood board. By creating the existing home first, I give myself a real-world sandbox to build inside. I can test how new elements might look, check sightlines, work around structural constraints, and stay honest about what's truly possible without overwhelming a contractor or suggesting anything that feels unattainable or overly precious. Especially with this home, which already has strong lines and uniquely 70s elements like a carport. I want to be careful about what I keep, what I modernize, and how I make it feel timeless and tailored to the Pacific Northwest. This step helps me slow down, get really intentional, and make sure everything I add has purpose, not just polish. Now that I've mapped out the existing space in 3D, this is where the fun begins, bringing the vision to life. As I start layering in new materials and forms, you'll see a really intentional shift. This design draws heavily from European inspiration, but it's been reworked to feel rooted right here in the Pacific Northwest. I wanted it to feel refined and timeless, but not imported or out of place. It had to breathe with the natural rhythm of the location. We've replaced the tired finishes with soft lime-washed brick and vertical siding in a tone that plays beautifully with the misty grays and greens of the coast. The palette is restrained but rich. Think warm stone, charcoal black, soft oat, and layered greenery. It's all inspired by nature and designed to age with grace. The bold black statement lighting adds contrast and modernity, anchoring the entry and creating visual rhythm along the garage. That alone makes this once flat facade feel intentional and welcoming. And finally, the landscaping. Hydrangeas and flowering trees bring in structure, softness, and seasonal interest, framing the entry with just the right amount of curated wilderness. Designing like this in 3D lets me build out the project as a contractor would, step by step in real time. It keeps my concepts grounded and ensures what we dream up is not just beautiful, but entirely buildable. Now let's take a hot minute to talk about why it is important to bring on a designer at this phase in your renovation. Quite often when clients and homeowners are approaching an interior design project that bridges on the form of construction, the most daunting part of the process isn't actually documenting how you wish to feel in your space. Everyone intuitively knows what they would love their home to look and feel like. The problems that homeowners typically face come in the form of execution and planning. For a project like this to enclose a carport into an enclosed garage is not a complex renovation, but making sure that you can approach different trades and contractors with a concrete baseline expectation, an idea around a design plan, material selections, and a generalized idea around the schedule that you hope to achieve, gives everybody involved a perfect place to start from. It's like herding horses to try and navigate quoting processes when everybody's got a different story to start off from. In this case, we're going to be creating a 2D and 3D rendering of the exterior of this house. We're going to be finalizing all of the material selections so that everything emotional is dealt with up front. The design plan and the vision is set. And that way, when this proposal that I create with my clients is taken to various contractors, there's no room in the scope of deliverables for things like budget creep or creative liberties. And it's not to say that contractors aren't creative. I have worked with some incredible contractors in my career that have such a beautifully creative eye. It is to say that allowing a designer to work with you on the things that revolve around design first. Allow a contractor to then come in and do their job best. They are the people that are going to lay the hands and make this thing actually come through to fruition. The most beneficial thing you can give yourself, your contractor, and your design team out of the gate is a very clear plan. Get everyone on the same page. You're going to save yourself scheduling headaches and budget creep. Most of all, you're just going to save your sanity. Thank you so much for coming along with me on this specific project in BC. I serve clients just like you across North America, so be sure to follow along and subscribe to my channel to stay inspired.